Nguyen. Heather.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a Heather. We have Amanda Patnam. Yes. Yeah, now, who's leading the...
Arnie.
Anne, okay. Anne, you want to lead the opening prayer?
Lasso. So, in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, we take refuge until we attain enlightenment. Through the merit of practicing generosity and the rest, may we attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, we take refuge until we attain enlightenment. Through the merit of practicing generosity and the rest, may we attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, we take refuge until we attain enlightenment. Through the merit of practicing generosity and the rest, may we attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the sacred happiness devoid of suffering. And may they dwell in boundless equanimity that is free from attachment and aversion. With skillful means and compassion, you were born in the Shakya clan. Unconquerable by others, you vanquished Mara's hordes. Your physical form resplendent like a mountain of gold. To you, the king of Shakyas, we pay homage. Then we request the teachings. The ground is purified with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Sumeru, the king of mountains, the four quarters of the universe and the sun and the moon. Thinking of it as the blessed Buddha feels, I offer it. By virtue of this offering, may all beings here and now attain the happiness of that pure land. Tram Guru Aratna Mandala Putsa Mega Samutra Saparana Samaya Ahom. In accordance with the capabilities and diverse aspirations of sentient beings, we ask you to please turn the wheel of Dharma, of the greater, lesser, or conventional vehicles.
Hello, everyone. Now, as you know, we are going through this Bodhisattva Avatara. This is the teaching by Shantideva. And Bodhisattva's, Chanjusabes Chavas, they conduct the engagement of the Bodhisattva, means Bodhicitta practice. So this is such a precious text, especially those who are so serious. No, those are really serious. How to free from samsara and to achieve enlightenment. Then it describes so detail. No? But for somebody maybe not so keen to this, sometimes it goes to very extreme, you know. So then some beginners, especially some beginners, and they are maybe not so keen to this kind of understanding, practice, especially, you know. as I mentioned before, so when you study these texts, don't take as personal. No. If you take it personally, then you may dislike. No, you may now discline to this kind of practice. But if you take just as a reality nature or as a objective way, just for your information, and especially for investigation, you investigate carefully like these things. So it is just like a general knowledge, but those who are very serious, as I mentioned, they really want to free from samsara. And what should I do? What kind of things that I need to avoid? Then chapter 6, the perseverance, this patience. And then this chapter 8, meditative concentration in these are really digging the root cause of samsara, root cause of suffering. Then you just see it carefully, not from Buddhist point of view, but in reality, nature of this samsara, how everybody is in that state and they are stuck there, entangled there, and then very difficult to get out of this because it is so, as mentioned, so ingrained. So this, we should have this kind of clear picture of the now when you go through these texts. Otherwise, it's like disgusting. Oh, I don't like to hear this. No, this is too much. These things can happen. And then you dislike, oh, the Buddhist teachings are so negative, They always just talk about the negative, There's nothing positive, So these things can happen. So just for our cautious, just to see it, and like when the doctors, when they study, surgeries or the body, or a lot of that, go through a lot of this, the patients, there's so much disgusting thing there, but the doctor has to study them. They have to work with them, and then see, they have to help the people, you see. When you go through the surgery, especially inside the body, it's not so nice, You see, it's not that really great. But you do this, how to help other, So likewise, here when you study these teachings, especially like this here, the last few days we have, and next for a few days it will have, and the outcome is the bodhicitta practice, you see. So you can see the first chapter about the bodhicitta, how bodhicitta is important. So to introduce bodhicitta is the way how to free from samsara. It's way how to help oneself. It's way how to help others. So much regarding the bodhicitta, the excellent qualities of bodhicitta. What's the outcome of the practice of bodhicitta? All those described as the first chapter, you see. Now these we are going through to capture that bodhicitta. So to this, our samsaric that were so ingrained, so deeply rooted, are difficult to get out of this were so entangled, so this you should see this. Use your as I mentioned, don't use your own personal habit, what you like. Some say now there's just a wonderful juice, nectar, ambrosia, so delicious. And while you are drinking that, somebody comes, it's not good for you. Get rid of this, It's painful, because the juice is so delicious, and it's a fruit juice. You feel, what's wrong with that, And but then if you carefully examine, maybe good for you, maybe not good for you, we don't know, But just example like that. Some delicious food you're eating, and then somebody comes there, this is not good for you, And you say, what, what you're talking about, this is good food, I like it, And then says, if it's harmful for you, you may say, it's okay if it harms me, I like it, So like this, the Dharma teaching, we have such mental, we should say, mental various way of inclination, disposition, mental degree, how we are kind of advanced or beginner. There's so many ways. So here I know many of you have studied Dharma for many years. So you know these things. It's just reminding. But there are some new people, maybe a beginner. Then they may feel, this is some disgusting, what they're talking about, It makes me not to like my body. What that mean, I like my body, So these things can happen. So just be cautious and then be prepared. And our main theme is, you see, we're only talking the root cause for our suffering. That's this, very important point. See, I know now that there are many different places. There are a lot of discussions going on how to promote Dharma. There's some people told me, say there are some other people. I like Buddha's teaching. I like Buddhism, but I don't want nirvana. I want to have a good business. I want to have a good life, and I don't need nirvana. So that I like Buddhism because I like it. It's going easy going, relaxing, So there are a lot of different people have these things. So for your awareness, it's as I mentioned, our mind is very complex. Just to remind, the mind is such a sophisticated, abstract subject. We cannot see it clearly. Even my own mind, I want to be good, but that mind doesn't allow to follow that direction. My mind, which is habituated, takes me into a different direction. And to pull from that is painful. It's not easy. So that's the complexity of the mind, see. And we need the teaching. That's why Buddha taught the teaching. But we individually have the responsibility, No matter how great teacher, can forcefully change your own mind. The teacher can give you the instruction, the wisdom, how to practice. But we individually have to take the responsibility. This is very important. And then I always say, repeat this, put emphasis. We have to study, understand as a universal truth, that for every sentient beings, it's not a Buddhism or Buddha created. It's not just Buddha's way. It is a universal way. So that's why everything is constituted within the framework of the causality. So this can communicate to anybody, to everybody. So it can help to every sentient beings. Because you see, in the world, human beings are such that there is a body, the human being has that body becomes such a condition to perform the mental activities, the mind. So because of that, the human intelligence is so kind of coming out. You see, dominates whole world. The whole world is dominated by the human beings. So human minds are a little better, more understanding, has a more moral, a sense of universal reality nature. Is much better off other species, our environments, the animals, the sea mammals. They're all under the mercy of the human beings. When the human beings have a more conscious, more awareness, understanding, then it's much better off to those. See? So this is we should always focus on this and meditate on this, work on this. And then the Dharma teaching is in all time, all the time, no matter how much, 21st, 22nd, 30th century, if we make effort enough, Dharma can relate to all the time. Doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle is changed. Doesn't matter what kind of technology is changed. All device changes. Dharma can be useful to all those other occasions. So now, having said that, we should touch this now. The book. We just have done the verse 52. No, I think it's 53. Here we have, now here we're reflecting our body that we're so attached to. Once our own body, others' body, So now it's investigating how much essence is there, if it is worthwhile to attach to or not. Just saying, It's not just say it's bad, but it's just looking at, regardless, you sacrifice, how much you do for your body. At the end of the day, how much you can get the benefit from this. This is the point, you see. Make sense? This is very important. Now, after all those efforts, you work hard to cherish this body, attach to this body, yours, others. Then what you get? It says use a sense. It's not just saying bad, 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 unclean, unclean, you know. So you see, look at this. Oh, otherwise, you, as I mentioned, it's just disgusting, you know. Why you are talking about this, you know? We're talking about like bacteria, you know. You see, all this bacteria. Where do all the bacteria come from? From our body, you know. How much we have to wash our toilet, you know. You see, so it's disgusting, you know. So you say, don't talk about that. Maybe bring something else, you know. Okay, now verse 53 said, in fact, you are full of filth yourself. You wallow in it constantly. It is indeed just filth that you desire, and therefore long for others' sake of it. So now it's very clear. So our body itself is unclean, you know, filthy nature, and this is the day when we are born until we die. We just with that. You know? We can't avoid it. See, and see, and then not only that, he said, no, it's indeed just feel that you desire, and then therefore long for others' sake of it. So not only yours, you have that, then you want to have others' body, which is the same thing, unclean, you know. So that you are craving the others, you know. Then 54 said, now this is all using different kind of method, you see. It says when man likes the wife, woman likes the man, you like the flesh or you like the mind, say here. So then if you say you like the flesh, see, and then it said, but it's the skin and the flesh I love, you see. I love the skin and the flesh of the man or woman, you know. To touch and look upon, just to touch and to look, see, to see. Then why do you not wish for flesh alone? So you look at it, just flesh alone. Look at go to the cemetery. Go to the cemetery. There you can find the flesh, and you just look at it. Or say no, you say inanimate. You see, and in its natural state. See. So, in other words, the flesh, the body flesh is inanimate, no mind. No, it is
girls.
It's inanimate. No. So, so what you should do with that? See, then why do you need wish for the flesh alone, inanimate and in its natural state? Just look at this carefully, investigate, not just jump, you know. Then to that, see, Father 55, look at this, you see. The mind, then you say, you change. Oh, no, I like the mind. His mind or her mind, very kind, very compassionate, taking care of me, all these things, this thing, you know. There's the mind that you perhaps desire, you cannot hold or look upon. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it, because it is animate. It is the conscious, you know. is a consciousness, see. So whatever you can hold or see is not mine. So what you can see, looking at the face, the body is not the mind. It's just flesh. It's just the bone. Why couple it with something it is not? Why you couple it with man or woman, which you cannot see the mind? So it's you are confused, you are mistaken. So you have to look carefully, investigate this. See. So now in verse 56 said, now he is saying, to fail to grasp the unclean nature of others' flesh is not perhaps so strange. That you like others' body, that you are fail to see the nature of that is maybe not so strange. But this is very strange enough, but not to see the filthy nature of oneself is very strange indeed. Look at yourself. You know your whole system. All these things. Is there anything that you really have essence to attach to? There's nothing to attach to. See? It's just bad. Basically, our bad habit. The habit is mentioned, so ingrained, so deeply rooted within the state of the ignorance, the delusion, and without understanding, we're just wandering with that. And all samsaric sentient beings are just suffering there, helplessly. So that is the very strange. You know the poison is not good, but still you are taking the poison. It's like that, you see. So if you carefully look at this, investigate, it will really give you such a kind of feedback, wisdom, awareness. Yes, I understood. Now what should I do? So I should purify my habit. See, that's the only. The deeply rooted, the habitual tendency, the propensity, that is I have to work hard to purify, because I'm so habituated within this. This, it is such a state of suffering, but I'm perceiving something like a heaven. So how diluted myself is. So I have to purify. Then not only you want to purify, then you can see all rest of the samsara. And you can cultivate such great compassion, because now you have the wisdom. See, wisdom is there, and that wisdom helps us to cultivate such great compassion. So who are going through this kind of delusion, this kind of habit. So this habit, as I mentioned, is not just a culture of one country. No, it's the culture of the samsara. How whole samsara is constituted within this kind of dimension of delusion, ignorance. The suffering is there so much. Now this will continue, So that is So it's so strange. You yourself have not realized this. No. I don't want to say too bad things. I just want to read. If I explain too much, maybe then we want to throw the book away. Yeah, I don't like this book. Shantideva doesn't like this, that, you know. Yeah, that's very hard part, how we cannot achieve Buddhahood, you see. It's just pulling, as other day I mentioned, like this sticky glue, you know. We're so stuck in the sticky glue of the samsara. And difficult to pull from that because it's so sticky, you know. We're stuck there. We're entangled there. You know. So look at this, and that's just as I mentioned. Just look at this as an object, as a knowledge, you know. If it makes sense or not. And the main idea is not just making this as bad things. The main point is to purify our mind. You know? Our mind is such as, you know, so stubborn. You know, the stubborn, the kind of the habit, so thick, it's difficult to remove. Sometimes we feel, oh, it's not possible for me. No. It's very difficult sometimes. We may feel that. But you still have to see, it's all temporary, impermanent, transitory nature. See? And at the end of the day, that nature is emptiness. It comes from nowhere. It abides nowhere. It disappears nowhere when you realize it. So it's all lies at your wisdom. When your wisdom is there, when you use such a great wisdom, then it's like a cloud. The cloud comes from the sky, abides in the sky, dissolves into the sky. It goes to nowhere. So just to reflect on this and meditate. So then, as I mentioned repeatedly, we have to inspire ourselves. I have the precious human body. This precious human body has all the opportunity, you know, all the possibilities to get out of this bondage of the samsara. So look at this, you know. And then verse 57. Now, yes, so 57 is now, say, you try other side, say, why does the mind intent on filthiness? Is this right? Yes. Oh, yes. Why does the mind intent on filthiness, neglect the fresh young lotus blossom? Look at the lotus flower in the pond. So freshly blossomed. No? And you pick the lotus flower and you put in the shrine, or you give to the, as a gift to your friend, family. It's so beautiful. Your name sometimes Lotus such. You like that. So it's saying here, where you're so much stuck into that, like this swamp of the unclean. When you just get out of that swamp, look at the flower, the lotus flower of the wisdom. See, open in the sunlight of the cloudless sky, the lotus is blossomed under the sunshine. In the sky, when there's no cloud, the sun is so bright, and that calls to blossom the flower. So same thing, look at the mind. The wisdom of the lotus is blossomed by the wisdom of the realizing that nature. See, it's so fresh. Or is look at the mind. When the mind is confused, when the mind has all these delusions, afflictions, so it's so unclean. That makes the unclean of the body. Our unclean body is product of the confused mind, unclean mind. Our Buddha body, the deity body, is product of the wisdom. See, when these mental afflictions, the desire, attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, when these are purified, you are so fresh, so clean, so peaceful, a source of peace, happiness for yourself and for others. So this you see, with not just only lotus outside itself, but lotus, the mental wisdom. See, we have to look at this, you see. So, see, take joy rather in a sack of dirt, you see. So you just enjoy your mental lotus, the wisdom, the compassion, the understanding, instead of stuck in the mud of the delusion, the filthy nature. You see, this is not Buddhism, you see. As I mentioned, regardless, anybody in the samsara, what kind of race, rich people, poor people, educated, uneducated, what kind of color you have, doesn't matter. It disregards all things. It's a samsaric reality, nature, how it constitutes. So we meditate there and purify the cause of suffering as much as we can. See, so that has a space. Anybody, everybody. See, when you have such as grasping ego, you see, and then you the power monger. You are just a power monger. And to keep that your power, you risk so many, lot of suffering just around it, you see. It's very clear. It's samsara anywhere, you see. This is the ignorance. the delusion. No, it's not somewhere outside. It's within individuals, you know. So this is very good. See, you know, verse 57 is, why does the mind intend on filthiness? We are so attached to this. So we are so stupid, you know, neglect the fresh young lotus flower, the wisdom, the compassion, the peace. You know. So that lotus flower open in the sunlight of a cloudless sky means mind free from all the cloud of the delusion. Vajradhara-like color, the sky, blue sky, Vajradhara-like. Total, you know, profound wisdom. Why you not enjoy that? You know, this is very beautiful, you see. So to take rather in a sack of dirt. Verse 58, you see. Now, furthermore, this is investigating, you see. And since you are disinclined to touch a place or object grimed with excrement. See, when you look at the outside place, then nowadays we are talking so much about the, you see, the bacteria, you know, where this is, don't touch this bacteria. So the fly is coming, that brings the bacteria, you know, get rid of this fly. Even small fly you don't like because it brings the bacteria, isn't it? So our body is the source of all the bacteria, you know, which we don't realize. But outside say, no, and since you are disinclined to touch a place or object grimed with the excrement, why do you wish to touch the body when such excrement has come? You don't want to touch the others outside, where this all the unclean there, but you are polishing your body, which is full of this, you know, unclean. So just carefully look at it, no? So you say, you are really crazy, you know. Samsara is really crazy, you know. So stupid, you know. So look at it, you know. Just look to yourself. What I'm doing here, you know. This is called a dualistic mind, confused mind, we can say, you know. See, like this. Okay. And 59. And if you had no craving for impurities, then you argue, you know, back, you know. No, I'm not saying I like the purity. I don't like impurity, unclean, you know. I said, no. Why will you now embrace and kiss what comes from such unclean place? See, engendered likewise from an unclean seed. So our body is the product of our parents. Our parents, the seed, mother and father's seed, they're joined, and then our body is a product of that. Right from the beginning, our body is the product of this unclean. So you're saying you don't like unclean, but you are the nature of the unclean. Now to purify that, it's all, as I mentioned, our mind. When you meditate, purify these mental afflictions, ignorance, attachment, and anger. Then look at this, our deity practice. That's just simple, like Tara, white Tara, green Tara, or Chenresi. If you practice this, so this body becomes such a clean body. Especially when you realize inseparable of the appearance and emptiness. So you see how the mind works. When the mind is deluded, we create all this unclean bacteria. When we practice bodhicitta, and everything is as an illusory nature, when everything is like a rainbow, and it becomes such a clean, precious. So that's why I mentioned, Buddha's teaching is nothing but to solve this confusion of this samsara. And this teaching is taught for all the sentient beings, not just only Buddhist. Buddha's concern is every sentient beings, because Buddha's compassion is to all the sentient beings. Buddha practiced bodhicitta, not a few group of people, but everybody, especially those who are so stupid, those who are so confused, and Buddha has more compassion to those because they don't have much opportunity. The obscuration is so thick, so deep, difficult to get out of this. So you see, so we all Buddhist practitioners have the responsibility. First we purify our own mind, and then help others, depending to the capacity of the individuals. There are some are very stupid, but you have to have a skill how to help them. Some are so kind of advanced. We should have also capacity how to relate to this. That's why when you request the teachings, please turn the wheel, Dharma, according to the mental capacity of the individuals, you see. So Buddha has that kind of ability to relate, you see. When say like say Angulimala, when Angulimala who killed 999 people, now he needs one person to know. So he's looking for, running everywhere. And finally he met Buddha. Of course, he doesn't know that Buddha. He thought this is a monk. Now this is the my last chance, I have to kill this monk. And then he runs so fast. And finally, he just reached to Buddha. And with his knife, so eager to now kill this monk. And Buddha stood there, showing all the dignity, no fear, without fear. As soon as he noticed, this has no fear to die. Because he killed 999 people. Everybody is so scared, running away as fast as they can, And this one has no fear. So he was so kind of astonished. Then he asked, are you not afraid? And Buddha said, no, I'm not afraid. Actually, you are afraid. See, as soon as when Buddha said this man was totally now collapsed, all the delusion. So you killed 999 people, 999 people out of fear, said. Now you have so much fear not to get the last person. So what you can accomplish. So then you see, all his just fear, his anger, all those vanished. And he threw the knife away and frustrated. So please help me to get out of this fear. He said, you are right, I was totally in the fear. So Buddha taught the teachings, you see. And he achieved arhat, you see. So Buddha's teaching is designed to purify all our mental confusion, which are the direct cause of suffering. So look at this, and we should appreciate. We should amaze more, not as a Buddhist doctrine or Buddhist philosophy, as a Buddhism, but Buddha's teaching is how to relieve our mental this acute delusion, suffering that all the predicament that we have, how to release these. Make sense? So these are very important points. So please share this to all others, regardless who they are, doesn't matter. Anybody who needs this opportunity should be shared. Especially this 21st century submission, when the technology is so advanced, when the samsara is so thick, people have no interest to achieve nirvana. They want to make their life very productive, successful. They are working so hard how to become millionaire, billionaire. And they are going through so much suffering. And then you see, there's so much suffering in the college, in the university. There's so much information there. lot of distractions are there. It's overwhelming. Because of this, so many are suicidal, you see. It's all our human made. And we get all those information, and the suffering is there so much. The suffering is so profound. But we need a skill. Right at the beginning, if you talk about the sufferings, they would not like it. No, we'll say, no, I'm not suffering, I'm fine. Suffering means like there's no food, no clothes. They think like that, you know. They don't think so much mental. It's, you know, confusion, suffering. So our suffering is more deep, more complex. So we need that wisdom, skill, how to share with others. So these are just some general explanations. You know, you can use these, some tips that you can collect. You know. There is verse 60. So the tiny fetid, I think fetid was fetid worms.
Fetid.
Yeah, fetid. The tiny fetid worms that comes from filth. Unclean, you know. You have no love of them. It's unclean, so I don't love this. I don't like it, you know. It's disgusting. And yet you are lusting for human form, that very nature of the body which is composed from this. So that's called delusion. You know, it's called oxymoron, you know. It's oxymoronic nature, you see. I don't like it, but I like it. You know. So that's what's called confusion. So look, just, you know, be clear your mind. No. Make yourself as a master to free from samsara. Don't make yourself as a cause of suffering. See? So Buddha's teaching has mentioned how to become a better human being, a decent, you know, how to achieve the decency, you know, estranged from this delusion. You know? So it's from filth, arisen and reflect with it. So our whole system, this body system is looked, you know. See? That's mentioned. The lot of doctors now they know very well about, you know, the body system, you see. They show you skeleton, you know. There's a picture of a skeleton. Then all these inside organs or everything you see, intestines, the large intestine, the small intestines, you know, the liver, you know, all this, look at this, you know. So we are that nature, you see. But haven't taught us like here, Buddha's teaching. You know? So that's called wisdom. See? Not just wisdom as like collection of many informations, But here wisdom means the precise mind. The wisdom which makes the demarcation, the cause of suffering and cause of happiness. So it's, verse 61 is something like repeating, similar as before. Toward your own impurity, disgust you do not feel, and yearning and a thirst for filth, you long for other sake of it. Same thing, When you look at yourself, you can see how impurity nature of the body itself. So this is called ugliness. Ugliness doesn't mean like twisted face. It's just, as I mentioned, just a heap of bone. And then kind of the flesh, and then the ligaments, nerves, and then above that skin. So just, plastered by this. And ourself is in that nature. And then we just without realizing, then we attach to others, you see. That's, you see, because you do not feel, and yearning and a thirst for filth, and a long for others' sakes of it. Verse 62, pleasant substance like camphor. The camphor is the all time, at the Shantideva's time, it's not like these days camphor, These days camphors, I think, is poison. That time, camphor is a special kind of fragrant substance. Okay, so don't just confuse that, So pleasant substance like camphor, rice, and fresh green herbs. Put them in your mouth and spit them out. The earth itself is food thereby. You see. You just, filled up your mouth, all this food, and there's something going in your throat, and go outside where there's such a fresh, green, clean place, and you throw out. And then you cannot touch it, so you just feel disgusted, See? So that's how reality our nature is. There's such a pure food, fresh, that put you in your mouth, and then when you throw out, everybody scares, they run away, So if you throw that, just like coughing, your mouth is full and you are coughing, and throw out on your table with a guest, everybody will run away, The food in the plate, if you offer, anybody will accept that. But when you throw out from the mouth, everybody's scared, So look at this. And they say, this is the reality nature. So I'm so stupid, you know. Look at this. I should release my attachment, purify my mental delusion. So, you know. Then verse 63, still Shantideva is really very persistent, you see. If still you doubt such filthiness, I don't get it, you see, you know, because our confusion is so stubborn. No, I don't get it. I really no. You're saying it is, but I don't like what you're saying, you know. Yeah, basically, of course, I don't like the filthy, impurity. No, I don't like those filthy things. But what you're saying is, I don't get it, you know. So then Shantideva says, you know, you see, if still you doubt such filthiness, though it is very plain for all to see, it's very plain, it's very clear, very obvious. Go off into the charnel ground, observe the fatigued bodies there abandoned. Now, as mentioned here in our West, the dead bodies, if they're buried, they kind of make up and then buried underground. So you don't see so much. But other cremated, nowadays the electricity, no, it's just few seconds. So you don't see it so much. But if you go to the, like in the East, or maybe like say other country, I don't know, in the East, Tibet, when they give the body to the vulture, then you can see, you know. When the dead body brings in the charnel ground, inviting vultures, so many vultures, they come, and then look at the body, how you see, how it smells, how the color changed, that what was so attached to that same body is now no longer was so attached. So say you are so confused. They said, this is so clear, now obvious. Look at this. I see some monks in like Thailand. They collect bones, the skeleton, the skulls, bones from the arms, legs, they put together on the ground and they watch that and meditate to see it, get used to it. That's the nature of our body. This is the characteristic of the body. This is the final, the nature of the body. So how I can attach to this? So meditate, release the attachment. So this way, you see. We know there is as I mentioned before, Mahamudra, Dzogchen, all these mental afflictions. So they teach you so elegantly. It's like a cloud disappear. All these mental delusions, like a waves to the ocean, they come and disappear. It's very soothing. It's so good. But when real affliction comes, they don't work so well because our mental afflictions is so concrete and Mahamudras are just so empty. You know? So we are not well prepared for this. So first we need these things, step by step. See, you know, that's why Shantideva made chapter 9. The emptiness he put at the last chapter. First we have to work all this step by step, reduce the degree, the power, the stubbornness, that all we have to work step by step and purify. Then at the end, to uproot totally, and when everything is prepared, then emptiness is so powerful. But to maintain, to manifest emptiness, we need shamatha, as earlier mentioned. Samadhi, samden, samadhi, shine. See, shine rabdon nebel, hatonkis, you see. Having a powerful, concrete shamatha, then the special insight on the ultimate insight. When they walk together, then the confusion, mental affliction has no place, no space. So to achieve that shamatha, we need all this support. We cannot achieve shamatha with all these mental afflictions. The suffering is there, no? Okay. Then verse 64, I think. "64 said, when their skins are peeled away," now the dead body in the charnel ground, look at the body and peel the skin. As I mentioned, the doctors, when they make the surgery, they know it very precisely, you know. So, see, when their skins are peeled away, you feel great horror and revulsion because there's nothing is there. Only filthy, impure things. No? So you get the revulsion, this frightening. Now that you have understood this, how can you still take joy in such a thing? Still, how you can attach to this? So they say there's no reason for this, but still you attach to this because the habit. The habitual tendency is so powerful. So by all the different means, we have to practice this. Now, when I just remember, Siddhartha, you see. You know Siddhartha? Siddhartha, his father, Shuddhodana, was a very powerful man, a king. Now his son, Siddhartha, such a gifted friends, physically, mentally, everything's just perfect. And Shuddhodana, his father, then arranged such a beautiful wife. And then his wife gave a birth of a child. And they're staying in the perfect palace. Everything is nothing but perfect in the samsaric state. Now you no need to ask anything more than that. Everything's perfect. But Siddhartha, looking at these, knowing these things, he renounced the kingdom. How could anybody just imagine, renounce that? We are looking so much for this. But Siddhartha totally understood these things, not only for himself. And then he's looking for all those who are confused in the samsara. Because of that mental power, he renounced the kingdom and went hardship for 6 years, as you know, and attained the enlightenment, Buddhahood. Because of this now teachings what we have. Just imagine, if he selfishly attached to the kingdom, enjoys his life totally, we will not have these teachings. So look, imagine, you see. Anybody, just imagine, how difficult it is to renounce such a condition. So only few could do this, you see. So Siddhartha did this, then attained the Buddha Shakyamuni, realization, and then taught all those teachings. So this teaching continues until now. For 2,000, about 600 years, still we have fresh these teachings. So just imagine, just look at it, meditate on this, just, So say he sacrificed his self-attachments. So we have to understand this, meditate on this. And then so it's, I think, 65. Now here's, again, different way of explaining, you see. The scent that now perfumes the skin. So we use perfume. Make ourselves very, all this good odor, good smell to attract others, to attach others to for oneself. It's sandalwood and nothing else. That perfume is not coming from the skin. It's the sandalwood. See, nothing else. Yet, how is it that one thing is fragrance? So how that fragrance, there's such a beautiful or delicious smell. It's not from the body. It's from the sandalwood. Causes you to look for something else, you see. That's why you can look at it is nowadays the market. No. There's so many different, fragrance. It's a very big business nowadays, everywhere. Everywhere in the East, West, everywhere, you see. The perfume is big business. I know I have one friend in Switzerland. He started that business, He's traveling everywhere, So this fragrance, the perfume is from sandalwood and also different, There's a lot of different sources there. Nowadays, because people are so smart to making this. Look at this, Those companies, they make a lot of money from this business. So just see how much we're confused. This called samsara is product of artificial. That's why we are now coming. The artificial intelligence, isn't it? We like a lot of artificials. We have a lot of artificial food, vegetables. There are so many artificial clothes, artificial perfumes, soaps. You see so many soaps are now, And now I heard this during this pandemic, we have to use what you call the liquid, to get rid of this bacteria. The companies, they're making so many artificial things, So samsara is a product of artificial, you see, artificial mind, all the confusion, and then we suffer helplessly, see. So understand this. Somewhere it looks like depressing. But we should not depress. We just look at this, Oh, wonderful. Now I understand. Samsara is product of the artificial confusion, mental delusions. Let's just meditate on this. And then develop this called wisdom, this knowing, understanding is called wisdom. So within that, then we have such great opportunity to develop compassion. It's a true compassion, So from there comes a compassion, non-referential compassion. See? So in samsara, we have a lot of artificial compassion. So that doesn't work so well, even though it's good. But we have to work, cultivate non-artificial compassion, non-artificial kindness. Sometimes the people smile, okay, so it looks like very kind, but you really don't know what they are going to do, But here we should try how to cultivate the non-artificial compassion, from that decent wisdom. Okay, we just did the 65. Would you like a short break?
Yeah.
10 minutes? Oh, first, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully. And exhale. Om Banda Sato Samaya Manopalaya, Mada Sato Tinoba, Tinadino Member, Sukaya Member, Sukaya Member, Anorata Member, Sarasitam, Parayata Sarakan, Sutame, Shriya, Kuru, Hum, Ha, Bhagavana. Sarataka, Damadama, Samaya, Sato, Thank you.